Hey, everybody, it's Angelique. It's good to see you. I see y'all coming in. I see you coming into the show tonight. Hey, it is Sunday. It's 7 o'clock. We got a lot to talk about. I think you saw the flyer, right? What's upside down? Me saying we got to talk about these myths. We got to dispel some myths about domestic violence. And I'm going to tell y'all tonight is a conversation. I got a lot to say. Y'all know how I prepare every week. I have a ton to say, but I want you chatting back and forth with me because I'm going to pose some stuff to you. I want you to throw some things back at me. But all right, let's get started. Can you hear me? First of all, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. I'm going to go to my comments, keep my comments going. Let me know you can hear me because this is about to get really real. Really real. So hello to all my courageous queens. Hey, Tadara! Hello to all my courageous queens, and that's one right there. And my courageous kings, welcome to episode number 20. Can y'all believe it? I have done this 20 times. 20 times. This is my weekly podcast about domestic violence awareness and action. It is called Silent No More because I am silent no more. I remember being silent. Oh, Tanika's on here. Tanara's on here. My day is already good. I'm Angelique Pierce, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am an advocate of freedom and truth, and I am the founder of Ladder Masters Inspirational Leadership Group, better known as Ladder Masters. Now, I always tell people that I am here and I speak for 3 reasons and 3 reasons only. That is to bring awareness, to break down facades, and to build conquerors. And tonight, we're going to do a whole lot of breaking down of facades. That's what we're doing tonight. All right. So again, tonight's episode is called Dispelling the Myths of Domestic Violence. There's so many myths. I had to narrow it down. That's what took me so long to prepare. But I'm here and I'm ready. Let me first say a couple things. I got to acknowledge my family, my UB podcast family. That's Unique Blessings, a nonprofit organization that I am honored to be a part of. I always shout out my queen, Chantel Evans. That's my girl, my man, 50 grand, as we like to say. And there's a whole Unique Blessings family that is behind this podcast. So I am happy to be a part of the organization and grateful to be on the board of this nonprofit organization. So real quick, before I go, oh, Rhonda, look at Miss B is on here. All right. So before I go any further, y'all know me, I got to say a prayer because honestly, at some points, prayer is what got me through what I went through. And Tanika, I know you can attest to that, baby. All right, so here I go. Ready? Let's say a quick prayer. Father, I come before you yet again on another Sunday, God. I thank you for bringing me here, preparing me, giving me the mindset, putting me in this place every Sunday to bring this word forward, a word that is meant to break chains, to break bondage, to bring freedom, to bring truth and bring light, God. So I thank you right now that you fill me every time and you get me ready. You get me ready and you help me speak these words. And sometimes it's the hard truth, stuff that is even hard for me to speak out loud. I thank you for helping me to bring forth these words. I thank you for the listening ears and that it falls on good ground, God, good fertile ground. I thank you for the victims and survivors, God. I have been there. I have done that. And I pray I never see that place again. But for those who are still suffering, for those who are trying to figure out how to get out, or for those who recently got out and are trying to figure out what in the world do I do now, God, I hope that this podcast, I hope that this message in the comments from even the people who are participating and watching, I hope it makes a difference in their lives and a difference in their journey, God. And you lead them to the resources that they need to be the best version of themselves, not what those fools told them they are, but God, who you say they are. So I thank you for all these things. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. So I got a lot to say. Y'all. I prepared and prepared and prepared and thought and came back and read it over and prepared again. I ain't playing. This stuff is serious. So if you haven't yet, y'all know what I say every week. Every week I say it. If you have not yet hit that share button, it's somewhere down on your screen, on your phone. I don't care where it is. Hit the share button. All of us are part of Facebook groups. If you're not a part of a Facebook group, I know you got friends on Facebook, so tag them in. Tell them to tap in and come in and watch this tonight because it's a serious thing going on. Find your courage. That's right. Tag somebody and say, yep, you. Join in. This is for you tonight. Or for your cousins, aunties, bestie, godson, daughter. All right. Tell them to tag in too. All right. So let me say a few things. I am going to talk about the myths of domestic violence. And I'm going to get really deep into this, okay? Domestic abuse is a crisis, and it is affecting all of us, and it has devastating impacts. You all know. Now, today, I'm going to take you through some of the common myths, and I couldn't even touch them all, but I'm going to take you through some of the common myths of domestic violence. My goal is to dispel some of those myths and to give you that kind of knowledge that breeds power. That's what I'm here to do. There are so many myths about domestic abuse and its causes, and I am here today to challenge them. That's what I'm here to do. I'm going to challenge them. So if I get a little angry, roll with me. It's just where I'm at the moment, okay? But I'm going to challenge some of the most widely believed and deep-rooted misconceptions about DV. Now, I want you, as I consider each myth, I'm going to reach out to you and I want you to comment. I'm going to throw it out there like it's the truth. Like, well, this is what it really is. And I want y'all to throw some comments in there like, yes, no, maybe so. Tell me what you think. I'm going to throw it out there and you respond, okay? So y'all know I always have something to say about everything regarding domestic violence, but I also want to hear from you. Now, this is really important for many reasons. This episode is really important. Here is my big why. Domestic abuse, and it still blows me away. Domestic abuse cases almost always follow the same script. Am I right, Tanika? They almost always follow the same script, yet it is still so hard to stop them. That's the part that just gets me. Oh, look at everybody on here. So let me throw some of these comments. Miss B is on here. Tanika's on here. Hold on. Bestie was at the top. She was the first one to chime in. Hey, Bestie. All right. Yes, indeed. Y'all are on it tonight. We fired up. I'm telling y'all, this is a serious one. Chantel came on here. Hey, Queen. All right. So here we go. Domestic abuse cases, they almost always follow the same script. But yet it is so hard to stop them. Why is that? Well, we're going to keep going. Yes, it's hard. Y'all, this is so funny. My dog is trying to come in here. And he is moving the curtain. If you don't know, my dog's name is Ruckus, and I talk about him all the time. And he loves mommy, and he wants to be here with mommy, I guess. All right, so that's what's gonna happen. So Ruckus has joined us for the podcast, y'all. All right, so why is it so hard? I'm going to share some insight. I love this. I hate it because it's true, but I love what she wrote. It's insight from a woman by the name of Jess Hill. She's actually a writer for this publication out of the UK. It's called The Guardian. I told you, I research, I look around, out of the UK. And this is what she said. She said, many women don't know they are experiencing abuse until they are already in situations that are incredibly dangerous. Some of that is because coercive control is so poorly understood, but also because the perpetrator makes it invisible. That's why they're hard it's hard to stop them. They follow the script, but we don't really catch on until it's almost too late. So it's hard to stop abusive relationships once they're in motion. And because I know that, because I'm telling you that, and now you are the owner of this information, my goal is to keep you from ever being in that situation. That's why I'm here every week. I know what it's like. I don't want it for any of y'all. Any of y'all. Chantel said, Ruckus is here. Let him in. He is right here, y'all, like right next to me. Now he's under the table under my legs. It's so crazy. All right. So y'all ready to jump into the myths? Now we're about to jump into this. Oh, Jacob, thank you for tagging people in. I appreciate you so much. You do it every single week. All right. Are y'all ready? If you haven't tagged somebody or shared this to a Facebook group, do it right now because I'm about to go all the way in. Okay. I'm going to say the myth. You put comments in about your response, and I'm going to give you what I got right here, okay? Myth number one, you ready? Things get really bad between us, but I'm not in an abusive relationship because now I'm going to say he, but it could be she, okay? So he or she. Things get really bad between us, but I'm not in an abusive relationship because he never hit me. What's that? Oh, Didi is on here. Stop playing. Oh, my gosh. It's family everywhere. Family everywhere. I love this so much. Thank y'all. So y'all ready? What you got to say to that? Here's the myth. Things get really bad between us. I mean, really bad. But I am not in an abusive relationship because he never hit me. Because he never hit me. That means I'm not in an abusive relationship. All right, I see Midori chiming in. She said false, right? That's the myth. What we got to say? What we got to say? Is that true? He never hit me, so it can't be abuse. I mean, abuse, does that require hitting? Tanika says it's a myth. Let me go in on this one. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Domestic abuse. Domestic abuse does not always include physical violence, let me say. And if you didn't know, if you are only looking for black eyes and bloody noses and messed up faces and everything else, let me let you in on a little known fact. Abusive relationships do not typically start off with physical violence. Are y'all with me? All my ladies that's jumping in here that have been through DV, y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me start with the definition of domestic violence or domestic abuse. It is any intentional action or non-action, even non-action, meaning ignoring you, all sorts of things, that's used to gain and maintain power and control. It's the whole point is to instill fear because the person is in an intimate relationship with you and they figure I can use the feeling, the love, and all that against you to gain and maintain power. So not just punches in the face and hands around the throat, it's threats. Listen to me. I want you to hear what I'm saying. It's threats. It's intimidation. It's coercion, like I'm forcing you to do or be something. It's isolation. Yes, that is abuse. It's minimizing. It's blaming. It's financial abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. And listen, if you don't know, there is a thing called sexual abuse within an intimate relationship, within a marriage. It is true. And then also physical abuse. Do not be misled. It is not just physical. So if he hasn't hit you yet, you just hold on for just a second. That is likely coming. I'm going to say likely because, again, it doesn't happen in every one of them. Domestic violence is willful. Why do I say willful? Because I want you to be very clear what the word willful means. It means intentional. It means deliberate. That's what it means. I got a lot of comments coming in. Control. Cassie is on here. Oh my God, Cassie. How are you, beautiful? Oh, there's so many of y'all popping in. I love this. Tonight is an amazing night already. Domestic violence is part of a systematic pattern of power and control. You have to understand, this isn't some willy-nilly, oops, my bad. This is a systematic pattern of power and control, and it's perpetrated by one intimate partner against another. We have got to recognize what this thing is. Things get really bad, but I'm not in an abusive relationship because he never hit me. It doesn't matter. Abuse comes in many, many forms. Some perpetrators, y'all ready for this? Some perpetrators, this is my story, confine their abuse to forms of physical aggression, such as pushing and shoving and headlocks. My story, headlocks, and sometimes strangulation, potentially fatal. And why is that? Because it doesn't leave a mark. Are y'all listening to me? So if you're looking for the black eye, if you're looking for the busted lip, you're going to miss it. Because there are other ways that these abusers, these tactics they use that leave no marks. Trust me, I know that was my experience. There were no marks. Nobody would have known. Nothing on my face, no broken bones, but I have had plenty of enough physical interaction to know what that's like. Others are even more subtle. They're controlling their victims through tactics such as domination, intimidation, and even humiliation, and even threats of humiliation. That is also abuse. Listen to me, y'all. Some of you have seen this stuff and you're busy waiting for but he didn't hit me yet. He didn't touch me. He didn't hit me. That is not the only form of abuse. Are you hearing me? Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Oh, Cassie. Listen, when I tell y'all, oh, beautiful, beautiful person. Takes it way back to Philly to church. I am so glad you're on here, Cassie. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, what does it say? If my brothers are a part of this forum, listen. Thank you, KB. I'm so glad you're on here. All right, so I'm gonna say this last piece. Whether physical or emotional, some abusers who mistreat their partners confine their abuse within their own home. Oh, it happened to me. It didn't happen at church. I was baby and the best mom ever and the best wife ever. And oh, you don't know. Oh, I'll give me a hug in the parking lot and everything else. But when we got back home or got in the car, it was a whole nother story. Driving to church, coming back from church. Let's put it all out there. So it doesn't matter. Some of these abusers are so smart. There is no evidence. There's no evidence that anyone can see. So your concerned family or your concerned friends or your sorors or your whoever, they'll never know because there's nothing for them to observe. Point is, just because you've never gotten hit, that doesn't mean you're not being abused. Stop only looking for physical signs. Pay attention to the people you love. Pay attention to yourself because abuse is not only physical. Did we bust that myth wide open? Did we bust it wide open? Let's keep it moving. All right. Kazzy, oh my God, I cannot believe you're on here. This is so awesome. Okay, that was myth number one. So now we understand. Stop looking only for physical violence is a part of abuse, but that's not the only type. Are we good? Myth number one, smashed, crashed, blown away. Y'all ready for number two? Here we go. Hey, Tosh, hey. All right, here we go. The reason he abuses you is because he loves you. I'm looking left and right. So y'all know what I think, right? The reason he abuses you is because he loves you. That's true, right? Is that true? I'm waiting for y'all. I want to see what y'all got to say. The myth number two is the reason he abuses you is because he loves you. Girl, he can't live without you. Boy, she can't live without you. That's the reason they abuse. Where we at? Myth number two. Oh, I'm not sure what the means, KB. Y'all are fired up today. Y'all are fired up. All right, so I said, hell no. All right. Y'all ready? I can't even wait to get on this one because I got to get on this one. Let's get to the truth because that myth is trash. Ain't got Look, listen, y'all know the movie, right? Just like the name of the movie, what's love got to do with it? Not a darn thing. Y'all know what I really was. Not a day, nothing. In Philly, we used to be like, nutching. Nutching. It has nothing to do with it. All right, so let's get real. Sarita's on here too. It starts in grade school. He likes you. That's why he acts like that. Oh my God, good point. That kind of stuff, that kind of teaching, even in grade school. Nah. Oh, he hits you because he likes you. We're going to stop that mess right here, right now. The reason he abuses you is because he wants to. Did you hear what I said? The reason he abuses you is because he wants to. And he chooses to do it every single day. I'm saying he, okay, because I'm a woman and that was my experience. But can we all be clear? There are women who abuse men. But I'm going to speak from the he perspective because that was my experience. So just roll with me. It makes it easier. I don't want to have to keep saying he, she. The reason he abuses you is because he wants to and because he chooses to do it every single day. That's why. Why? Because he has the nerve to think. He has the nerve to think that he's entitled to control you. The nerve. I'm going to say it just like that. The nerve. Whether he thinks it's our patriarchal society that gives him the right to control you, or if he saw that behavior growing up, I don't know what he saw growing up, and I'm not concerned. What I do know is you have no right to try to control anything that is a creature of God. So let's back up to that. You have no right. Abuse is an ongoing system of control in which you got this abusive partner that is seeking to override your autonomy, to destroy your sense of self. That part is the part that gets me. They don't even want you to be you. I can't stand them, any of them. The end game is to make you entirely subordinate, essentially a willing slave. Y'all, it's still in here. I told y'all this. I got still a little right there in this little pocket on my side over here. I'm still a little angry. You daggone right. I'm still just a little bit right there, right there. That's what keeps me talking to y'all every week because I got to get some of this stuff out and make sure you hear me. To do this, they isolate you. They micromanage you, humiliate, degrade. Get ready for this one because I've been through it. They surveil you. Yes, watch, stalk, follow, all kind of craziness. They gaslight you, make you think you're crazy, like you didn't see what you just saw, like they didn't do what they just did. I'm right here. I'm smart. I'm aware. I know what's going on. And they create this environment of confusion, contradiction, an extreme threat. If you have not been through domestic abuse or domestic violence, I want you to count yourself so blessed, because it is a terrible situation where you don't know if you're coming or going. Are y'all hearing me? Yes. Thank you, Midori. It ain't just me, right? It ain't just me. You got to have a little bit of that left, just a little bit of it left. That's how you stay in the fight. That's how you keep going. They also tell you that you made them do it. I'm getting to that one. Give me just a second. Now, I try to check not just in the United States, y'all. I try to be very informed. So I check in other countries, other places. It's important. So there's a British woman. She's a survivor advocate like me. Her name is Min Grob, Grob. In case you want to look her up, she actually has an awesome newsletter. But her name is Min Grob, and she tweeted this. This is the reality. Listen up. You become disoriented, hypervigilant, confused, and most likely sleep deprived. I was sleep deprived. I remember one time I almost didn't sleep for 24 hours because of dealing with this stuff. You are walking on eggshells, afraid that you're actually going mad, afraid to make them mad, afraid all the time. Sometimes not even knowing why you're in fear, but the panic is there always. I've got Tanika. I've got who else is on here? Let's see who else was on here. Midori's on here. I got a bunch of ladies who are outspoken about what they went through, and I promise you, they will say, "Yep, yep, yep." Eggshells. Afraid I'm going mad. Afraid to make them mad. Afraid. Don't even know why I'm afraid. Don't even know why I'm panicking. But listen, it ain't because he loves you. Let me just say that. This stuff you're feeling, there's nowhere in there. I don't care what you try to tell me. You cannot twist, turn, manipulate, squeeze it together, pull it apart. I don't care what you say. You will never convince me that it has anything to do with love. And while you think you're falling in love, there ain't no love coming from the other direction. It's all a facade. I'm here to break down facades. It is all a facade. There's no love there. There is no love and control. I promise you that. None. All right. So you guys have seen this before. I'm gonna try to turn it around. You're not gonna see it well, but I'm gonna pull it close. The power and control wheel on this side and the cycle of abuse on this side. It's funny how this is like a mirror image, so it's so weird. But that's what you're dealing with. It has nothing to do with love. At the center of abuse, two things: power and control. Don't convince yourself of anything else. It's power and control, intimidation, emotional abuse, isolation, minimizing, denying, and blaming it on, using the children, using male privileges on the man's side, economic abuse, coercion and threats, sexual violence. None of that is love. And I don't care how many sorries you receive. I don't care how many I love yous he says or she says. Do not be misled. Love looks nothing like anything that I've talked about with you tonight. So, myth number 2, the reason he abuses you is because he loves you. We're going to toss that one aside because ain't no truth. The devil is a lie. Ain't that what they say? The devil is a lie. Let me see what y'all got going on. Hold on. Emotionally deficient. Narcissism big time. What's this one, Midori? Australian women have to deal with gag laws. If you report your abuser, you face the possibility of going to jail. See, now you got more information than I even have. You see that? We are teaching each other in this space. We are teaching each other. All right. KB says what? To be made psychologically dependent. Absolutely. There is so much going on. Power, not love, is the root. Thank you, Tanika. I'm going to keep checking y'all comments because y'all are on fire tonight. So we got myth number 1 out the way. Myth number 2 out the way because it's not about love. Myth number 3. This one is close to home for me. Y'all ready? And again, I'm using the male as the abuser because that was my story. Okay, women abuse as well. Y'all ready? Here's the myth. Number 3. She must be struggling, broke, need a man, or need someone to take care of her kids. Why else would she let somebody abuse her? I want Tanika to jump in on this one. Wait a minute. She must be struggling. Let me get the head and the neck moving. Y'all ready? She must be struggling. Broke, need a man, maybe got 5 kids or something. Because why else would she let somebody abuse her? Why else would she let somebody abuse her? I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what y'all put in the chat on this one. Because this one gets to me. All right. Hold on. Can I share? Yes, you can share. Please share. Please share. I'm gonna come back to some of these comments. Y'all ready? So she must be broke, need a man, need somebody to take care of her kids or something. I don't know. Wait, because why else would she let somebody do this to her? Okay, y'all ready for me? Because I'm about to go all in. First of all, shut up. That's my first of all. Because you know when somebody say first of all, they about to read you. First of all, shut up. Domestic violence does not only happen to women who are unemployed or who live in the hood or who have 3, 4, 5 kids or who just need a man. That is not the truth. It has nothing to do with being smart or being dumb. But I will tell you this, it happens to all kinds of women. It happened to me. To me. Yes. And so I tell my story. So let's back up a couple steps. In my case, I was young, so 30 something, right? Educated, never married, no kids. Let's be clear. None, never. I was the money. So it ain't about his money. I was the money, sexy, chocolate. I'm just messing with y'all. But I'm serious. It had nothing to do with that. I didn't have kids. I was never married. I didn't need a man. I was at the point in my life where I thought, well, I've got all my education. I've got my career. I've got the house I want. I've got this. What's next? Well, I guess I think I'm ready to kind of like start a family. That's where I was. I didn't need a man. I certainly didn't need that one. Let's be very clear. I ain't need that one. So I was also, but here's the thing, I was also very responsible. I was also very compassionate, very loyal, and very E word. What's that E word? Empathetic. All right, I admit I'm an empath, but let me tell you something about empathy now. I got some boundaries. It's very different. I know how to reel certain things back in now. And I got my accountability partner, Chantel, Tanara. I got people around me to make sure I'm cool and I'm good. But back to the point, it's not about struggling. It's not about being broke. It's not about needing a man. It's not about I need a baby daddy to take care of my 5 kids. Stop with the nonsense. I need everybody just stop for 1 second because that is not fair. It's not fair because then you're putting the reason for the abuse on the victim. Stop. Stop. Abuse happens because many victims like me think that they are starting a beautiful relationship. That's what you think. When in fact, from day one, and I can tell you now that I've researched it all the way back to the beginning, from day one, I was on a speeding train down a track to abuse. Now that I know all that happened and all the truth from day one. Okay, abusers ask a whole lot of questions. Ooh, he asked me a whole lot of questions about my past, about my family and my past relationships, my desires. Why? Because they are trying to assess your weaknesses. They are trying to see how far they can push your boundaries, and they need to know who they got to become. You know, the chameleon? Yeah, that. Who they have to become so that you fall in love. So no, it's not always about needing this man and somebody take care of your kids and being broke. Stop. You actually sometimes think you're entering into a real relationship. Guess what? Couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. I got a lot of comments and I don't want to leave y'all out. So let me see. Natasha says, I used to work with a supervisor. We just wrote it off that her hubby was jealous. Ooh, indeed. Indeed. I was in my early 20s. I thought it was cute when he would just show up to her job. I thought he was just in the area. I now know better that he was literally dominating her. Are y'all listening? Pay attention to what's happening around you because things ain't, AIN apostrophe T, ain't always what they seem. I got a lot of yeses. Nicole, thank you. Been there, done that. Who else is down here? Because I want to make sure I get y'all comments in. She said, can I share? I said, yes, of course. Myth 3, wait, what? You never heard this one, KB? Oh, yes. There was a perception that she must be letting this happen to her. I mean, come on. Why? Who else would let it happen to them? Midori said none of the above. Had a good job. Thank you. I waited. Yep, chime in. Her or Tanika had a good job. Trust me, I know. And was enjoying my single life. Yeah, wasn't looking for that. I'm going to keep going. So this is just some interesting stuff. I mean, we got to really be careful. We got to really be careful about what we think. I'm going to keep going. So back to myth 3, the struggling broke chick or whatever. Okay. These guys ask a bunch of questions. And once they are sure that you are their ideal victim, the grooming process, it goes into full swing. And I'm telling you, it moves fast. Trust me. The only question that abusers are asking is, what does she have going on with her that could be my best tool to use against her to control her? Literally, they are paying attention. Is it the kids? Is it something about her? What is it? Where's the crack in her dam? What do I need to? Yeah, a whole lot of that. She got beef with her mama. What is it? Okay, so here I'm gonna tell you something. This is the mindset. Y'all ready? Here it is. Because this happened to me. Well, if she doesn't have kids, I have kids. If she doesn't have kids, I'll make sure she has at least one, because almost nothing makes a woman more vulnerable and more likely to comply than her desire to protect her children. It is disgusting, but it is true that this is how they think. Nothing makes a woman more vulnerable and more likely to comply than her desire to protect her children. And this is them. I'm talking like the abuser, and I will instill the fear of God in her and make sure she thinks that there are no limits to what I will do to her, to the kids, to her possessions, to her reputation, if she doesn't do what I want. That's how they think. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? They are looking for ways to just, it has not, I'm gonna make sure you ain't got kids. I'm gonna make sure you got some. I ain't even gotta have 3, 4, 5 kids. I'm gonna make sure you got one after this relationship. Another one will say something like this. Well, if she is looking for a serious relationship or marriage, I'm gonna give her the world. I'm gonna give her the world, and then I'll take it all back from her. That will leave her constantly looking for that old spark. She's always looking for it. She's always seeking after it. And I'll keep giving her glimpses of it to keep her chasing that old love high. But I'll actually be manipulating the situation the entire time just to get what I want. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm not making this up. This is real. You just don't hear it this raw. You just don't hear it this raw all the time, but I'm gonna give it to you that. So that was number 3. Yep. Not because she's broke, not because she need a man, not because she's from the hood, just because these abusers find the crack in the dam and they use it against them, and I can't stand them for that. Y'all ready for myth number 4? Let me see what other comments I got first. Hold on. Wait a minute. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Victim shaming. Victim shaming has always been a problem. Blaming the victim is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Whoa, I'm ashamed to say that I thought that when I was younger. Listen, this is what this is about. This is what this is all about, y'all. There's no barrier to DV. Oh my God, y'all comments are real tonight. Real tonight. Thank y'all so much. All right, sociopaths. Thank you, Maria. All right, y'all ready? Number four, because we got, I couldn't do too many because I knew I was going to run out of time. Number 4. This is the myth. He is such a good person, and I have never seen him be aggressive. She must have done something to provoke him. I'll wait. He is such a good person. I have never seen him be aggressive. She must have done something to provoke him. Now, again, I'm using the him side of this because I'm a female and that was my experience, but please understand that he could easily be a she. We could be flipping this around. Ooh. We on number 4, y'all. He is a good person. Whoever that person is, I've never seen him be aggressive. She must have done something to provoke him. I'm about to jump all up in this one. All up in it. Midori. I gotta put that one up on the screen. I gotta put that one up there because that's exactly how I feel. I can't say that word, but that was how I feel. Yes, Cassie, victim blaming. Y'all ready? He's such a good person. No, he is not a good person. I don't care what row, what pew, what seat in the church he sits in. I don't care if he's at the front of the class. I don't care if he has a double master's degree or a doctor in front of his name. If you are abusing women, you are not a good person. I don't care what side of yourself you choose to show to whoever you choose to show it to. If you are behind closed doors or in the bathroom or at the mall or at dinner or doing whatever, abusing women, you are not a good person. So let me help you. You're not. Okay, let me keep going. What you are, though, is a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. And if you're a female abuser, you are a Dr. Jekyll and a Sister Hyde. Yes, there's one for you too, miss. If you are abusing men or other women, there's one for you too. Now, listen, what this person has successfully shown the world is one side of themselves to keep everyone off their trail. That's it. That's what it's all about. I'm going to show everybody else this. I'm charming. I'm charismatic. I'm smiling. I got jokes and everything else. I dress good. I smell good, whatever else. That's what you've successfully shown the rest of the world. But what you've actually shown to her or to him, if he's a victim, is a completely different dark side, period. I'm going back to he because that's my experience. He is a liar and a manipulator and a fraud, period. This podcast is called Silent No More. I ain't silent no more. So please hear me. The behavior of abusers is calculated. It is a choice. I said it earlier. It is a choice. They are not crazy. They are not sick. They are not confused, and they are certainly not angry with you. Because if you think that abusers are angry, that would suggest that someone or the victim did something to make them angry. No, that's not how this goes. Because in the reality, it doesn't matter what a victim does or what you do or don't do, they are going to abuse because abusers abuse. So we're going to not pass it off to anger and nothing else. So let me tell you all this story. It took me 1, 2, 3 attorneys to get fully away from my ex, out of my marriage, and onto a better life. It took 3 attorneys. Can you imagine the financial loss of dealing with that nonsense? But I'm not here to talk about that. God, I just remember the money. But my second attorney pissed me off so bad. It was a male. I couldn't stand him. I don't think he even cared about my situation at all, to be quite honest. But I will tell you this. I remember when I was like, okay, so what's going to happen? So he just gets to move on and do whatever, and it doesn't have to take any sort of required classes. We got a child together. Is he not required to do something about this thing of, abuse, whatever? Here's what my attorney said. Well, we can certainly send them to anger management classes. And I'm sitting here listening. Did he just say anger management? Yeah, but that'll be this many weeks, and he has to do. I said, whoa. Why are we talking about anger management? Because that's typically what I said. You know what? This is ridiculous. I said anger management would suggest that he's mad or angry about something. He ain't angry about nothing. This is a part of a whole plan. Anger has nothing to do with it. If you I said, don't you say anger to me one more time. I said, you've said it so many times to me that anger, I don't want to hear about it. He's not angry about a damn thing. There's nothing for him to be angry about. What he did to me was choose to abuse me. Can we deal with that choice? That's what I want somebody to deal with. Do not be misled. It has nothing to do with anger. Y'all are popping in comments. I'm going to go ahead and pull these up because I want to make sure I get it up. It's so hard for people in an abusive relationship to accept that this is happening. There's such a stigma. Cassie, absolutely. Do you know how long it took me to actually do what I'm doing? My God, it took me forever to say something about it. And then here's Midori. I did not get my day in court. His effing side piece got him out of jail. I should have punched her in her face when she approached me in the supermarket. And that's the thing. It's so amazing to me how the next one even could be aware of the situation and actually thinks that they're getting something different and somehow they're special. And I don't even get me started about that. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But let's just be clear. I don't care that you've never seen that person be abusive. I don't care that you've never seen that person be aggressive. If a woman is coming to you or even a man comes to you and says they're being abused, I'm going to need you to stop for a second and listen. Because the whole thing with domestic abuse is that It's a thing that typically happens inside the four walls. And once they step back outside, they become that charming, awesome, funny, talented person that they want the world to see. The whole thing is a facade. Can we get that in our heads? The whole thing is a facade. So they're going to show you the good side so you can never see the bad side, so that no one ever believes the victim and thus makes it her fault or that she's crazy. That's what's happening. All right, I'm going to keep going. A friend of mine who was also a survivor advocate tells the story of how she literally made pancakes one day. I think it was pancakes when I guess she was supposed to make waffles. And that's what set him off. That's what made him abuse. Y'all listening to me? It's crap. There's no anger. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how good you are in bed. Abusers abuse. Provoked him, made him angry. That's all bull crap. That's not what I wanted to say, but that's what it is. He's such a good person. I've never seen him be aggressive. You must have done something to provoke him. Let me tell y'all something. Abusers are manipulators who feel no empathy for other people. None. Because if you did, there's no way you could do this and feel empathy. They want total domination through creating fear. That's what they want to do. They want to completely control. And they often use these romantic relationships that involve so much love and these intense emotions. And they even play church and pimp God. Trust me, I know. Been there, done that. Didn't I tell y'all I was here to bring awareness and break down facades? That's what I'm here to do. And I'm going to keep doing it every single week. When most people think of abusers, they expect to see I don't know what, a bunch of thug looking type of people. I don't know what they think. I don't know what people think. Just like there's no one type of victim, there is no one type of abuser. There is a range of people, education levels, jobs, socioeconomic statuses, you name it. So stop looking for this person, this type of person. My sister's friend, her name is Jack. She says, Shorty, that's my nickname if you didn't know. Shorty, stop worrying about him and his name. Put a paper bag over his face. Every dude you meet, put a paper bag over their face and pay attention to the personality. Pay attention to the patterns of the personality. Doesn't matter what their name is. It's the patterns of personality. So please stop assuming that they're a saint, that the saint that they present themselves to be is who they are. Because sometimes after they step inside their front door, they're a whole different person to that unsuspecting or just fearful person on the other side of the door. That's the part that gets me. So it doesn't matter if you personally have never seen them be aggressive. If you personally have ever seen them hit someone, it doesn't matter what you saw, because abuse is a lot of times hidden. So let's bust that one out. Myth number 4, gone. Here we go. Let me see what comments we have. We got some newcomers. I appreciate y'all in here. Women are not so smart to even want a man who has or is cheating and abusing. Well, I don't know what that means. Women are not so smart to even want a man who has or is cheating and abusing. We should stick together. Okay. Be more secure within and know you deserve a hero, not a zero. Narcissists have no loyalty to anyone. Can we be clear? They do not love you or her more than you, or she's not more special than you, or he'll never do that to me. You need to read, baby girl, because you ain't caught up on today's news. That's not how this goes. All right, let me keep going. Okay, it's called intimate partner violence. That's why you never saw that side of him. Can I clap? It's called intimate partner violence, IPV, absolutely. I watch patterns, not words. Thank you, patterns. We should all watch for patterns. He's not a good guy because one time he took you out on a beautiful date. He's not a bad guy because one time he only took you to McDonald's. You can't just base it on one time. It's the pattern that you have to be honest with yourself about what you see. All right, that was number 4. Y'all on fire. Number 5, y'all ready? This is a tough one. This is a disputed one. I've got this one and one more after that. The last one really gets to me, so that's why I left it for last. Number 5. The only reason he's abusive is because he's drinking or doing drugs. This is a hard one. Y'all ready? The only reason he's abusive is because he's drinking or been doing drugs. I'm going to pause and see what y'all got to say about this one. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Y'all ready? What you got to say? What you think? The only reason why they're abusive is because they've been drinking or because they're doing drugs? Is that the reason? No, ma'am. Woo! He like, I'm 2 words. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is hard. Yeah, this is a hard one. This is a tough one, y'all. That's why I bring it up on purpose. Now, listen, I'm going by my research. I'm going by what I read because I spend time reading and I spend time researching. That's my personality. I'm extremely analytical. And so I found enough stuff. I'm throwing it out here to y'all. A drunken tongue speaks a sober mind. Can I steal that? Is that like from the Bible? A drunken tongue speaks a sober mind. What y'all think about that one? Mm, People will have conflicting perspectives on this one. That's why I put it in here because it is a tough one. This is a tough one. Yep, heard that. Y'all ready? Oh, I'm gonna throw these comments up because y'all talking to me. Heck to the no, no, no. Tanika says, we ain't blaming it on no alcohol or drugs. We ain't doing that today. That's what Tanika said. And what Tadara said, yep, I can steal it. Okay, y'all ready? All right, I'm gonna actually put this one up here and leave it up here because I think this is my quote of the day. Ooh, let's see. Hold on. What's this one? The behavior started at home. I'm gonna keep this one up. All right, y'all ready? A drunken tongue speaks a sober mind. Here we go. The myth is if you're just joining, the myth is the only reason he's abusive is because he's been drinking or doing drugs. All right, we're gonna bust this one wide open too. This is the difference between causation and correlation. That's my analytical mind coming out. This is the difference between causation and correlation, or cause versus contributor. Okay, this is the difference. This is a perfect example. His control, his abuse, is neither a reaction to stress, nor is it triggered by alcohol or drugs. Let me just be very clear in my speech today. Alcohol and drugs can make existing abuse worse. Did you hear what I said? Alcohol and drugs can make existing abuse worse or be a catalyst for an attack, but they do not cause domestic abuse. Did I say it loud enough and clear enough? Okay, I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. Alcohol and drugs can make existing abuse worse, or it can be a catalyst for an attack, but they do not cause domestic abuse. Many people use alcohol or drugs and they do not abuse their partner. So can we be clear? You can't say it's the cause, because if it was the cause, then every person drinking or using drugs would be abusive. Let's back it on up. Many people use alcohol and drugs and do not abuse their partners. So it should never be used as an excuse for violent and controlling behavior. Have I made it partially clear? Because I'm getting there. I'm just rolling right now. The perpetrator alone is responsible for his actions. And so long as we keep making everything else and everybody else the reason that abusers abuse the society, the this, the that, nah, bruh, you did that. You put your hands on her. You called her a bitch. You did that. We have to stop this craziness, and I'm here to help stop it. So in 2010, Live Science, or it may be Live Science, I think it's Live Science, reported the results of this survey. I told you, I don't just check the United States, I check everywhere. They reported the results of a Scandinavian study, and it found that the risk for violent behavior does increase with intoxication, but only among individuals who are prone to suppressing what's already there, these abusive tendencies when they're sober. Are y'all listening to me? So let's just stop the confusion and make it very plain. People who didn't work out their abusive tendencies and all of that, they were more likely to get drunk. First of all, they're more likely to get drunk. And it's that state of drunkenness that's connected to a rise in the chance of engaging in violent behavior. I am tap dancing on this topic because it drives me crazy when people talk about this. People who did not suppress their feelings, meaning they tried to address their feelings, they did not show that similar association. So let's make it very clear. So we're back at the myth number 5. If you just joined in, the myth is the only reason he's abusive is because he's been drinking or doing drugs. Stop it, because it's not true. Since drinking alcohol can lower inhibitions, it can compel risky behavior, and it'll rob people of their self-control. An individual with some rage already, or that aggressive type personality, or those abusive tendencies, then yeah, they're going to act out when they're sufficiently intoxicated. Sure, there's a correlation, but can we please stop this causation? It is not the cause. It is not the cause. According to Very Well Mind, those who study the dynamics of domestic abuse, they say there's no real research to indicate that alcoholism and drug abuse causes domestic violence. We have to stop that. I'm going to go to the comments because y'all are saying a bunch of stuff. Y'all saying a bunch of stuff. You got to show you are on one tonight. It is clear. All right. Very true. And clear, all chemicals are an inducer. Yes, they're an inducer. All right. Exacerbates the behaviors that were already a part of. Thank you. That is the point I need to make clear. This has been researched. Was just thinking that. Thank you very much, y'all. All right, let me keep going. Although research indicates that among men who drink heavily, there are higher rates of assaults resulting in injury. The majority of men classified as high-level drinkers do not abuse their partners. So let's just be clear. If it was the cause of domestic violence, then it would happen when we all get together with our friends, and it's not the cause, y'all. Let's be like logical here. Also, many of the physically abusive incidents, they occur in the absence of alcohol use. Let me tell y'all something about my situation. My dude wasn't a drinker. That wasn't his thing. So what, excuse me, I'm sorry, what'd you say? Shorty, he wasn't drinking? No, he wasn't drinking. He wasn't a drinker. Barely ever had anything to drink. So if it, so thank you, not the cause. Okay, battering, abuse is a socially learned behavior. Now let me put it where it is. It is a socially learned behavior. And then that person learns it and realizes, hey, this works to do this or that. I'm going to keep doing it. And then it becomes willful and it's a choice. It's a socially learned behavior and is not the result of substance abuse or mental illness. Men who abuse and batter frequently, they use alcohol abuse as an excuse for their behavior and their violence. No more excuses, no more silence, no more nonsense. I'm freaking over it. And I'm just going to tell y'all what it really is. What's happening? They are attempting to rid themselves of the responsibility for the problem by blaming it on the effects of alcohol, they say. That's what's going on. Alcohol does not and cannot make a man abuse a woman, but it is frequently used as an excuse, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. No more. Myth number 5, the only reason why he abuses because he's been drinking or doing drugs, out the window, blown up. What else y'all got to say? I'm just checking the comments. All right. So this is the last one. I'm going to go about 10 minutes over, so y'all stay with me, okay? Stay with me because this is an important one. Myth number 6. If it was that bad, she would just leave. Ooh. I'm going to say it one more time. Myth number 6. If it was that bad, she would just leave. Must not be that bad then, huh? Otherwise, she'd just leave. I need y'all comments on this one. Comments on this one. If it was that bad, she would just leave. I mean, just leave. Right? Right? I'm waiting on y'all. Give me something. Tell me. I need to know. Makes me want to scream like, oh my God. Oh, if it was that bad, she would just leave. I'm going to say something real quick. And that's why this one just, So I learned at some point after I was out of my abusive situation that one of my ex-husband's family members had the nerve to say, Well, why don't she just leave then? If it's that bad, why don't she just, that's why I use this one. If it's that bad, why don't she just leave? Okay, here's my first of all. You know what I said about first of all? People say first of all when they're about to tell you off. First of all, that was my damn house. Okay, that's my first of all. That was my house that I bought as a single woman with my money before his behind ever showed up. So why don't I just leave? Nah, bruh. Why don't he just leave? So let's back it on up to that. Okay, all right, but we gonna keep it moving. We need to stop blaming survivors for staying and instead start supporting them so that we can enable them to escape. Did you hear the word I just used? So we can help enable them to escape. I didn't say leave. I said escape. By understanding the many barriers that stand in the way of women actually getting out of these abusive relationships, we've got to spend the time to understand. I don't care if it's psychological, emotional, financial, physical, there are so many barriers for women escaping these situations. If we would take the time to understand, then we can start to actually support them and empower them. Empower these women to make the best decisions for them while holding these abusers solely accountable for their own behavior. If it was that bad, she would just leave. Oh, I can't stand it. And not only was it my house, but y'all knew he had done it many times before. Y'all knew, but I should just leave. Okay, we gonna keep going because I could just go there and I'd stay there for like another hour. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, first, can we please stop using the word leave? We have got to stop that because when you using that word, it trivializes the entire situation that victims are in. Tanika, Midori, Maria, any of you guys chime in. When you say she should just leave, you are trivializing the situation that victims are in. You don't get it. Listen, I did a book, like a book discussion, a 4-week book discussion last month. And it was a book about called Surviving Domestic Violence by this author. Her name was Dr. Elaine Weiss. And in her book, she said, leaving, back to the stop using this word, leaving is what you do for at the movie theater when the movie's over. That's what you do. You get up and you leave out the movie theater. That ain't this. This isn't walking out the movie theater, okay? So just stop. Most people have no idea what it actually takes. Let me give you the right word to escape. What it actually takes to escape an abuser. Escape is the right word. Here are just a few things I got to list, y'all. And I'm going to go through. I'm going to try not to take too long because I got a lot here because this really gets to me. Here are just a few things that prevent a woman from escaping. And this comes from this source called Women's Aid. Okay, Women's Aid. Number one, danger and fear. I got a bunch of them. Number one is danger and fear. One of the most important reasons that women don't leave is because it can be incredibly dangerous. Okay? The fear that women feel is very real, y'all. So don't just say just leave. You have no idea what that means. There is a huge rise in the likelihood of violence after separation, but people don't know that. You don't see it. There was a study that was done. 41%, in this case, it was 37 out of 91. 41% of women are killed by a male partner or their former partner in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland in 2018. When they had separated from them, 41% of this group had been killed after they had taken steps to get separated from their partner. This stuff is real, y'all. 11 of those 37, they were killed within the first month of separation, and 24 of them were killed within the first year. I'm not making this up. This is a study that was put out. So don't just say just leave. You got to understand what it means to actually leave. Number two, so the number one was danger and fear. Number two is isolation. Okay. Now, if you're just joining us, this is if it was that bad, why don't you just leave? Number two is isolation. Domestic abuse often relies on these abusers, they rely on isolating the victim. The perpetrator basically does all this work to weaken her connections and her network with her family and her friends, making it extremely difficult to seek support. Trust me, I know. Me and my bestie could tell you that story all day, and she's on here. Perpetrators will often try and reduce a woman's contact with the outside world. Why? So that he can prevent her from recognizing that his behavior is actually abusive and that it's wrong. Because your friends and the people who really love you are going to say, baby girl, you deserve better. This is not God's best for you, right, Tanika? This is not God's best for you. And isolation is a huge part of what leads women to become extremely dependent on their controlling partner. It's not just about leaving. Okay? Number 3, shame, embarrassment, or denial. Perpetrators are often well respected. You know that? Oh my God, he was the master salesman. He was, y'all. The master salesman. All this people know, oh my God, he's the man. He did this. Oh, he's doing this. He used to do this and do that in his past. You okay? Who cares? Perpetrators are often well respected or liked in their communities because they are charming and they are actually manipulative. Trust me, I know. This prevents people from even recognizing the abuse, and it isolates the woman even further. What's wrong with her? He's awesome. He's amazing. Didn't you see him do so and so? Oh my God, he is the. Yeah, okay. So what happens is the perpetrator often minimizes, denies, or blames the abuse on the victim. I don't know what's wrong with her. He actually said that to me. Nobody's gonna believe it. They're gonna be like, she crazy. She crazy. I'm telling y'all, this happened. Words spoken in record. I have the audio of those words spoken to me. Call the cops all you want. They're gonna be like, what's she calling the cops for? I'm telling y'all, this stuff is real. So victims may be ashamed or even make excuses to themselves, like maybe that didn't just happen. Maybe it wasn't that bad, because they're trying to cover up the abuse also. Number 4, trauma is a real thing. Trauma and low confidence. Again, this is why isn't she leaving? Why doesn't she leave? If it was that bad, wouldn't she just leave? Trauma and low confidence. I want you to imagine, just stop for 1 second. The person who you spent time with, who you fell in love with, who you believe God sent to you, because that was me. You believed God sent to you, who you actually decided to marry in 2 different ceremonies, have a child, a whole baby with. You imagine that person every day trying to then make you feel worthless, and the impact that that has on your person, your sense of self, your self-esteem. Victims have very limited freedom to make decisions in an abusive relationship. They are often traumatized, and people just overlook that word, but I'm telling you, trauma is a real thing. They're traumatized, regularly told that you can't manage your own self. You need me. Fear is constant, y'all. And they live in this world of fear and terror every single day. You want to know why she's not leaving? I'm telling you why. Danger and fear, isolation, shame, embarrassment, and denial, trauma and low confidence. I'm going to keep going. Then there's practical reasons. Let's get with the practical reasons. Abusers often control every aspect of their victim's life. Are you listening to me? They are basically making it impossible to have a job or to have financial independence. By controlling access to money, women are left unable to support themselves or their children. Where's she going, y'all? Where's she going? On the street? To a shelter? For how long? Things happen in shelters. Thank God that they exist, but it is not easy as leaving. They may actually fear. Now, listen, this happened to me. I had a lot of fear with court system, a lot of fear. I was even told, you take my child here, I'm going to call the cops and tell them that you kidnapped our child. All kind of stuff was said to me. You better not go out the state. Don't go out the state, because if you take her out the state, I'm going to call the cops and say you kidnapped her. Y'all don't understand the kind of stuff that happens. They may fear having their children taken away, or if she has an insecure immigration status. Let's think about these women. Immigration status, she may fear even being deported. And I'm going to give y'all 2 more pieces of information. I'm going to shut it down for the night. Religious nonsense. Did you hear what I said? Religious nonsense. This is the 6th reason that makes it difficult for her to leave. The struggle is real. for women who are verbally, emotionally, and spiritually abused by the men who promised to honor them and cherish them. The struggle is real, y'all, because some of these husbands, some of these men use the cover of the church, in my case, the church, to hide their manipulative behaviors. The problem is church leaders often tell women to submit to their husbands. That's what you're supposed to do. You submit, to endure, to stay and pray. I need us to get this church thing updated to like current state of affairs. And do you know what else? Now, listen, I go to church. I'm going to tell you something. I pray. I am a Christian woman. I believe in God and I believe in his church and what it's here to do. But unfortunately, humans run the church. So there are a significant number of perpetrators who are actually church leaders or people who cover it up, who are church leaders, who don't do what they're supposed to do to protect women. God's covenantal design for marriage. I'm going to tell y'all this is what I believe. His covenantal design for marriage is broken by abuse. And scripture does not mandate that a woman should stay abused. She should be an abused wife and must remain married to an abuser. You will never convince me of that. Never. So let me say this. There's Ruckus walking out. My baby. Oh my God. Never has that happened in the podcast as my dog interrupted my podcast. Domestic violence is not a couples counseling or a marriage counseling issue. Can we stop this nonsense? I'm gonna nail this one home. Y'all ready? Couples counseling is dangerous for the victim. No, not just hard. It is dangerous for the victim. Why? Because couples counseling is going to imply, it flat out implies that the victim is responsible for seeing that her abuser gets help. No, she is not. And if it's a man, no, he is not responsible for seeing that his abuser gets help. No, not. Couples counseling is beneficial for marital problems. Domestic violence is not a marital problem. You know what domestic violence is? It is a violent criminal act. Can we call it what it is? I don't care. Cut the word domestic off the front. Domestic violence, cut off domestic if you have to. It's violence, it's abuse, it is criminal. Let's not be confused. Let us not be confused. So, yeah, it can be that bad. Because in the church atmosphere, in these religious institutions, women are made to think a certain thing. Ladies, you are not here to be abused. You are not put on this earth to be under the dirt, to have someone step on you and treat you like trash or an animal. No way. Do not accept it. You are better than that. You were born a queen, and that is what you are, and you forever will be. Last thing I'll tell y'all is the failure of the justice system. I have been through this. I have been to court so many times, I don't even want to count, y'all. I have fought 6 ways to Sunday from my life, from my child, from my finances, from my sanity, from my protection and safety. It's crazy. Let's talk about the justice system, and then we're closing. By the time victims realize that they are in danger, many of them believe that there's no system that'll ever be powerful enough to keep them safe. And I understand why that is. I do. If they do report to the police, if something reportable actually occurs, because the cops, they come and they be like, well, did he black your eye? Or you ain't got a bruise? We can't help you. It ain't criminal. Oh, wait a minute. In my case, it was like, did the Drano get on you? Oh, it didn't get on you? Oh, well, if it had got on you, we'd have been able to do something about it. But since it just got on the sheets, it's not criminal yet. Y'all listening to me? I did say Drano. You heard me right. I did say Drano. Okay. All right. So if they do report to the police, if something reportable actually occurs, they are making a terrifying gamble, y'all. A terrifying gamble. Why? Because here's the questions. This is what the victim is thinking. I remember thinking all of this. Will I get an officer who's sympathetic and proactive? If I report my partner, will that make him more mad and more dangerous? What if child protection gets involved? Oh my God. What if I call the police and now they think that I'm not properly protecting my child and they take her from me? What what if that happens? Y'all don't understand how crazy this is. It gets bad. What if he contests for custody and somehow wins? Do y'all know how many abusive partners get the kids? Y'all don't even know how bad this gets. How many victims get locked up because the cops come and go, I think it was both of y'all. It's bad out here, y'all. There are absolutely no guarantees that the victim or their children will be protected. So everybody says, why don't she just leave? And why don't you just do? Y'all don't even understand what it's like on the other side. You have no clue. Some people have no idea. Their suspicion that the system is not powerful enough to protect them is too often correct. It's unfortunately correct sometimes. The justice system, y'all, I hate to say it, but it's full of holes. It really is. And too often it actually ends up colluding with the perpetrator. Because why? He gets up on the stand. I saw it. Oh, this happened and now I ain't got nowhere to stay. And they become the victim. And I'm sitting here like, are you effing kidding me? Now he's the victim? I'm done. Y'all are listening to this bullcrap testimony? Do you not see that there's a protection order in place against him and he's up here acting like he's the victim and you're listening to him? I am done. Like, I am done. Did you just tell me that he needs to still get my money every month? I got to pay post-separation support to the person who signed a consent agreement that he abused me, but you going to still make me pay for his lifestyle every month? Are you freaking kidding me? The justice system fails us, y'all. It fails us. Y'all want to know why it's so hard for people to leave, to escape? You have no idea what's on the other side. So sometimes we stay. Sometimes they stay because it's actually more dangerous to leave. And until the justice system properly assesses and responds to risk, and as long as women are made to be responsible for their own safety, we will continue to see an intractable domestic homicide rate. We will continue to see domestic violence climbing. It is terrible. I'm just telling y'all what I know. I'm at the end, so I'm going to check these comments. I said a lot, so I got to definitely refill y'all. Build them up. All right, here we go. Woo! Edify. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Not in every situation. Not in every situation one is able to safely remove themselves or the other party. I totally agree. It gets scary out here, y'all. That's why I'm trying to keep y'all from even getting into these situations, because when it comes time to get out, you are so far in. I can't even that's all I want to do. I just want to help you be very clear about what this thing really looks like and how it happens. Let me see what Tosh said. That's what happened to the Preto girl that is in the news now. Oh gosh, I gotta look that up. I didn't know. Okay. Narcissists play the victim. On the stand, y'all. Oh yeah, there's court records on the stand, playing the victim. The officer body cam, he threatened to arrest her and now she is missing. Wait a minute. He threatened to arrest her and now she's missing? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go look up that story. I'm gonna have to go look that up. Listen, it's at the end. Some of y'all are falling off because it's getting late. I wanted to be done by 8:15, so let me just say a few things, y'all. This tonight, I am definitely going to do some positive affirmations. I'm going to do them quickly because it's already 8:15. But listen, if you are on here and oh yeah, I missed a few. Hold on, Maria. Yeah, OMG. Yes, my girl. Yes, OMG. Yes, it can be very flawed. If you are on here and you have been through domestic abuse, some kind of violence with an intimate partner, I feel you. I've been there. I've done that. I know what it's like, and it is no joke. So let me say this. You were never to blame. You were never to blame. You found yourself in a situation that you then had to escape. And escaping is not an easy thing. It takes time and planning and people to be on the other side to help pick you up. And you were never to blame. And you are not alone. I'm on here trying to make sure that you guys know, you ladies know, you are not alone. It's not just you. It doesn't just happen to this person who is this or this girl who is that or this woman who is that. 1 in 4 women 25%. Like, y'all, are y'all hearing me? 1 in 4 women go through this. You are stronger than you know. Even if you go, God, how did I get here? How am I gonna get myself out of this? I have no energy. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. Yes, all those things are true, but you are absolutely stronger than you know. You are stronger than you even think. And you got people out here like me who are here as living proof to show you that you can be on the other side. You define yourself. You are no longer afraid or ashamed. You can break free and leave. Not only can you do it, but you have to do it. You have to do it. It does get better. It does get easier, one day at a time. I promise you it does. It feels rough, but it does get better. It does get easier, one day at a time. You are not a victim, but a victor. Not a victim, but a victor. And finally, you are a domestic violence survivor. And as my girl Tanika would say, a thriver. Domestic violence survivor and sir thriver is what she says. I'm a sir thriver. So, all right, y'all, it is 8:15. I am going to look through this a little bit more. You are turning on the light to DVD. That's right. Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. All right, boyfriend. Oh my gosh, her boyfriend. Oh gosh. Cassie, do we need to talk, baby? One day at a time. One day at a time. Moved back from Atlanta to break free. Struggle, but it's finally getting better financially. Moved back from Alaska. Oh, let me correct myself. That says Alaska to break free. Struggle, but it is finally getting better financially. All right, what's next? Yes, yeah. A domestic violence survivor. I love it. Okay, listen, I'm going to sign off now. You guys have been an amazing audience. I think next week I'm going to cover a very special topic. I've been tossing this one around. I've been holding off on it, but I don't think I can hold off anymore. Listen, just real quick before you sign off. Next week, I want y'all to put a comment in the chat for me and tell me if I should go here, okay? Next week, I want to talk to our teens, to our young women and our young men. I want to talk to our teens because little do you know, maybe you do know, but in our high schools, and I should say probably teens and young adults, in our high schools and colleges, dating violence, teen dating violence is a real thing. And I feel like I want to talk about it, hit this topic. I'm nervous a little bit though, but I feel like I need to hit it. It's like been on me. So do y'all agree? Okay. All right, KB. Okay. All right. I'm going to do that. So next Sunday, if you got a niecey or a goddaughter or a godson or a daughter or son who needs to be on here, I'm going to hit teen dating violence and like violence, like dating violence among our youth next Sunday. I've been holding off, but my heart is like calling me. Okay. So that's my topic next week. I will see y'all. I love y'all so much. Call me 855 We Survive, 855-937-8784, 855-937-8784. Have a good weekend, rest of the week. Be productive because next Sunday, bring the babies with y'all. Bring the teens with y'all. We got some stuff to talk about. All right. Good night, everybody. See y'all soon.